musician. I'm still here in the Bay Area. And look at this beautiful queen sitting next to me, a living legend. I'm talking to none other than Sister Charlene Moore. So we're going to delve into her gospel diary. But before we get involved into our dialogue, we want you to subscribe to this channel because it's content from my heart to yours. All right, Sister Charlene Moore, how you doing?
I'm good.
That's good. You've been on the battlefild for quite some time now.
A long time.
Are you tired yet?
No, not yet. Being PK, preacher's kid, in church, small congregation, and kind of was born, when I was born, I was with the music thing, and I didn't know when I was younger. So my mother and father knew something was going on with me. And I've been playing by ear since I was legally 4 years old. And I played for my father's church.
And what was the name of that church?
Calvary Hill Missionary Baptist Church in San Francisco. It's still in existence in that new ministry.
Really? Do you ever visit?
No, I don't visit because I play for other churches. Went to school. Never talked about my mother and father when I was growing up. Till I got maybe in junior high and high school like that. But I did like other kids, played hopscotch and dodgeball and everything. Yeah, I did.
You invite people to church?
No.
You didn't? Okay.
I didn't. No. But I did music. Music all through, even, in elementary school, they had you sing. And then they had been playing, but singing. I didn't really start playing in school until junior high.
Now, what high school did you go to?
Polytechnic High.
And where is that at?
Polytechnic High is in San Francisco, in the Haight-Ashbury, right across from Kezar Stadium. And it's still, the actual school is not there, but they kept the gymnasiums, boys and girls. They built condominiums in there, but right across from Kezar Stadium. So I had some cousins that were there. So when I graduated from junior high school, which was Roosevelt Junior High School, Gary Aguilera in San Francisco. Oh, wow. And so I went to Polytechnic. So back in those days, they had districts. I could have went to Washington, but I didn't because I had family already in high school. So, and I started playing in junior high, in the glee class, and Miss McTurney was our teacher and stuff. So my first song I learned to play was Climb Every Mountain, Ford Every Stream. Yeah. And they had the book with the music in it, but naturally I couldn't read it. I didn't know how to read music. And to this day, I'm not familiar with reading music, like would say reading music. But I pick everything else by ear.
That's a gift.
I pick up everything by ear now, So I've learned the scale, when I did go to the music class, the scale I did learn. First thing I learned, you have 8 keys. Well, you don't have the 5 fingers. So how you gonna finish that? So with the thumb, and then you bring your thumb underneath, and then you finish it up, coming on back, bring your third over down to make it. So I learned that, and then then the rest of it was kind of on my mother. She sung, my daddy sung a little bit, but he was a preacher. Did
you like to hear your mama sing?
Oh, I love to hear my mama sing. As a matter of fact, back in 1993, we was playing for a small church in San Francisco, Gethsemane Baptist Church, and she's on YouTube. And back then we didn't know what DVDs were, VHS. So a good friend of mine knows how to change those formats, put it up on the YouTube, and that's the only thing I saw. My mother was singing, what's that song? About the Barnes family. So she's on the left side.
And is it still on?
It's still on there now.
Wow, I'm gonna have to
the blue robe on it. I'll give you the information. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm on the organ and mama directing the choir.
You on the organ?
Oh yeah, I was playing the organ in 1993. Oh yeah, absolutely. Wow.
Yeah. Now, right before we get into our discussing some of the Bay Area gospel music information. I want to ask you about, was there any racial tension or any bigotry here on the West Coast as a child growing up?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Well, I didn't recognize it as a child, but I recognized it more when I got into high school. I knew what was going on in junior high, but when I got into high school, because the school that I went to was in the Haight-Ashbury. But the Haight-Ashbury was the Flower Children. And the Black Panthers, the original Black Panthers.
Okay.
Angela Davis, Stokely Carmichael, that Black Panther. You know, so racial things was really going on.
Really?
LGBT was going on during that time, and you had Krishnas and meditation people, you know. So the people didn't understand the Flower Children, and you know, the drug scene was real heavy during that time. You know, so nothing they do now is new. It was just different how they're doing it now, but it was not new. But I didn't get into that scene. I just went to the high school, but I knew about it, you know. So yeah, it was a lot of racial going on during that time. You know, we weren't rich at all. We were poor people, but we loved God and knew that God would make a way. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't born with a bedroom set like some people. I'm the only child. I slept in the living room. Oh yeah, you had to pull out the couch and make up with the laser Susan and everything. Black and white TV. I was a different kind of child. I thought to my own self I was different. I didn't like playing with the kids next door. They knocking on the windows want me to go out and play. Because I had godparents that had a lot of money, but the money they did have, they shared with me as my godparents. Helped my mother and father out and stuff. And they, you know, they bought me, my dolls had heads on them. Next door, she didn't have no head on her doll. Well, you know.
Well, how you play with the doll?
Yeah, I did. Really? Matter of fact, I got a couple of my dolls right now at my house.
Wow.
Judy and Sydney. One is 72, the other 65.
You know, and that reminds me of the song that your mom was singing, coming up on the rough side,
of the mountain. Okay, yeah, yeah.
But you know, it's something about being in good favor with God.
Absolutely. There's a whole lot of things I couldn't do.
Okay.
My cousins and things would go to the movies, drive-in.
Wow.
So who gonna play for the choir? I couldn't go to the drive-in.
Wow.
You know, so, but I don't regret one day.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Bay Area gospel music. What was intriguing to you as a child?
Well, music changed.
Okay.
When I was, when I was playing, early ages, naturally was, Thomas Dorsey music, like that. So music had changed and it evolved like music does. Well, there we had broadcasters on KDIA. During that time it was Rockin' Lucky and Sly and the Family Stone. Well, not Family Stone, but Sly Stone was on the radio at that time. But they had broadcasters early in the morning and then they had broadcasters at night. And so, gospel was on the radio all night long until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you had a radio.
Yeah, we had a radio, and we had a black and white TV too. Yeah, well, the black and white TV was out by 11 o'clock.
Let me ask you this question. So this is the early 50s though. But do you remember your parents talking about the impact of Andy and Amos?
Oh
yeah, remember that?
Absolutely. When it started on the radio, they were Caucasian white. You know what I'm saying? Blackface was popular, not with us, but it was definitely going on. And then when it turned from radio, then into TV with Amos and Andy and Kingfish and Calhoun and all that. Oh yeah. That's why I didn't go outside to play, because see, I had chores. My father was a minister. My mother she had a bottle of a brown bottle. It was a root beer bottle with water in it, with a cork and a silver top with the little holes in it with water. You sprinkle up my daddy's handkerchiefs to ball them up. I had to iron those handkerchiefs all the way to the edge, all the way. Oh yeah, get that done. Then I had homework I had to do, and I didn't want to go outside and play with them, my dogs. Play with your dogs or my jacks. My ball was red. They ball was red.
Okay.
No.
As a woman, as a female, growing up in the Bay Area, was it difficult for you to find opportunities to play as a female?
Well, growing up, I just played for my father's church. So after I stopped playing for my father's church, it wasn't difficult at all.
Okay.
No.
And what was next after?
I just stopped playing my father. Well, while I was played with my father's church. My father, he passed in 1978.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So just me and mama for a long time.
Wow.
So I played for churches that she directed, you know, little small churches, and one church in San Francisco, Gethsemane Baptist Church in San Francisco. Me and her worked together there. And then after a while, as I, you know, got older, and I still was home with my mother. It was me and her. And then I played for other churches, you know, in the Bay Area. I played for Evergreen Baptist Church. Reverend Richards during that time with John McBride and Eddie Gatlin and Nadine and all of them. They was on broadcast from 8 to 9. So I played for East Oakland Deliverance Center, you know, Ray Max Church on 73rd, where the building is still there now. He's passed on. I played there, me and Eni Candy, the choir that was on the broadcast. So I played for other, you know, different churches. And I never played for Seventh-day Adventists and never Catholic churches and Presbyterian churches until I got older and moved out on my own. And then I played, you know, for other churches of other faiths. I knew the hymns, and I got them out of the Baptist church. I played for Pentecostal church too.
Really?
Oh yeah, my father.
You can dance some, huh?
Oh yeah, my father was a pastor of the Baptist church only 14 years. Then he left the church. Daddy would, Charlie Moe, my daddy would sneak out of his service. You know, after he get through with his service, sneak over to the Apostolic church. He was already jumping high in the Baptist church, but when he got out of Willie Wortham church, Ella Desner in San Francisco, he was jumping a little bit higher than he knows.
A little bit higher.
So he turned in his resignation before they
Sister Lynette over there smiling.
She know who I'm talking about. So when my father left the church, he went to Church of God in Christ. See, during those times in the early years, wasn't the 3 jurisdictions: Northern California, Northwest, North Central. So I went, my father and me, I went with my daddy. My mother stayed until she passed in 2006 at the Baptist church, same church, with different ministers. So we went to Greater Gethsemane Church of God in Christ at Jesse Grant in San Francisco, 568th Street. So we were Northwest, under the bishopship of Bishop E.B. Flunder's grandfather, Bishop Hamilton. Hamilton.
Yes.
Right. He was jurisdictional bishop. On Post Street, we call it Post Street because it was on Post Street, like we did 8th and Grove because it was on 8th and Grove. It was still Good Samaritan, but we never called it that. You know, which that was North Central. There were Eric Line and Alfreda Line and all the lines, Larry, Lawrence Matthews, all of them come out of that jurisdiction. Come out of North Central jurisdiction. So but I went into Northwest with the Webb sisters and Joyce Sneed and jurisdictional choirs and all of that, you know. So I went to Church of God in Christ. So I had a history of Missionary Baptist Church and Church of God in Christ all wrapped up in one. You know? But and that was the only coaching churches I knew that paid me. Because they didn't pay coaching. They didn't pay me, no, because they were born there. As soon as you were born, you got a stick or something in your hand in the Pentecostal church. Tambourine or something. You got a stick and some kind of something that made noise. Something. Okay, and then naturally you learn because it was homegrown. And I wasn't homegrown, but I was coming out of the Missionary Baptist Church. You know what I'm saying? Even though the little money they were giving you, they give you a little envelope or something. And Pentecostal, I don't know about nowhere else, but here they didn't. But if you came out from another church and got in the Church of God in Christ, well, T.O. Delaney wanted me to play. organ, and I really wasn't an organist. I was a piano player for years. You know, I had to teach myself how to turn it on first, run it, and then hit the button. Yeah, it wasn't like a light switch. No. So they had to figure out. Then they had a Hammond speaker, not a B3.
Really?
They had a C3 Hammond speaker, not a B3. So I didn't have the opportunity of doing the big back and forth. So when you look at an organ, it looks like a piano, just double here. So I had to teach myself the register because it's just the opposite. It's black here and white there. So then that's where the drawbars were, how to do the pedals and all that. So I kind of learned that on my own. If you don't use it, you will, absolutely.
Now, let me ask you this. So you had to learn how to fix the drawbars and everything on the work. Now, so were you always wearing nails as long?
Yes, I have.
But you still had to teach yourself how to play with the nails as well.
Yeah.
Was that difficult?
No, absolutely. And people said,
how do you do it?
Well, first of all, they mine.
Okay.
Just get the elephant out of the room.
Yes.
Then that press on, I don't do the cat woman thing, none of that. And you must realize I had facial splitters. You don't have born with nails. You're born with the fingers.
Right.
So, and you only hear this. Yeah. You're not going to hear that while I'm playing. You are going to hear them because the tips might hit the black keys, but then they don't hit hard the black keys. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing this.
Right.
Nobody plays like this if you ain't got nails. You know what I'm saying? So you play like this. You know what I'm saying? So finger. So I knew how to play my fingers and know how to, in practice.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Now the teachers don't want you to do that. They want you to have no nails, none of that. Well, that ain't gonna happen for me. That's who I am.
But the thing, and it's you. It's your signature.
It's my signature, and I've been had them for so long. And then sometimes when they get in my way, they still get in my way. I'll trim them down. They'll never be down to equal to his.
Okay.
That won't happen.
Now, how long did it take you to grow that far?
Well,
that long.
When I do trim them down maybe to here, they go back fast when I trim them. It's like on your hair when you trim down, your hair grows. If you like short hair, then you have to keep it cut. You know what I'm saying, like that. They do a session with nails.
You did?
With Sylvester, he did it before he passed. He did a gospel album. And I played "How Great Thou Art" on there. And then when I was playing "How Great Thou Art," and he was like, "What is that noise?" Okay, so the session was about over and it was time to tell him what the noise was, okay? So naturally Martha and Azor started laughing because they knew it was me. And they never said a word. They said, no, it's something wrong with your machine. Okay, so Martha never said nothing, so immediately Azor said, it's the nails. What nails? The nails that she has on the tool. What we gonna do about these nails? I said, get you some duct tape. They got duct tape. They duct tape my nails and they shape them and fold them under like, silk when they had it years ago, and all around on all my nails. And they started the session over, and I played. You didn't hear nothing.
Wow. And how was it being in the studio with Sylvester?
Oh, child. Syl was all right with me.
Was it?
Oh yeah.
First of all, how did you meet him?
You know what? I met Syl.
You calling him Syl?
Yeah, we call him Syl.
Syl, okay.
Yeah, Syl. I met Syl through Martha and Azor. I met Syl at a Norder Michael Walden after event party kind of thing, like with a lot of artists that were. Jeannie Tracy was there. This was during the years of Star Search. She was on Star Search in 1972 with Ed McMahon and all of that and one, And her nails was much longer than mine. Okay, Jeannie Tracy, that's my girl. So I met Syl during that time, and when San Francisco was kind of really busy, they had the clubs and things that they had where Syl would sing. When the song over and over, time and time again was huge. Way before we got to Disco Heat and Mighty Real and all the other things, And he was doing some of the smaller clubs and a larger club. The Truckadero was a big club down on 4th Street, So I met him through Norder and through Jeannie and Martha and Azor when they were 2 tons of fun. Wait for the weather girl thing came in. And naturally I knew Azor and Martha because they come out of the church. Azor come out of the St. Martin Baptist Church, performing. And Martha come out of the Church of God in Christ, Northern California, jurisdiction, Bishop B.R. Stewart, where Sly Stone, mother and father, where he come out of. So we knew each other growing up as kids, with their mothers and fathers and all of that. and there were two sons. Well, after the Pointer Sisters got popular with your can, because those were his background singers. And their father was come out of Church of God in Christ in Oakland. So they were PK kids too.
Yeah.
So when they got real popular with this song and moved on, then he knew Martha, because Martha was doing session work at Fantasy. With Maurice Long and a few other people.
Wait, Maurice Long? You just mentioned Maurice Long.
Yeah, absolutely.
Johnson.
I'm telling you, he was on a lot of work of Seal at Fantasy. Maurice Long out of Richmond. Absolutely. That's right. And all of the original material that Martha and Alzo did as tons. Yeah. So she worked with Seal then, and so Seal wanted to know whether he wanted the heavy girls voices and stuff. She said, I know Jesse the Call and Alzo. Their churches were right next to each other when they were growing up. So she knew, and I knew Alzo too, and all the children were growing up and all that. Alzo was older than me, but I knew who she was.
Right.
And the church she belonged to. So, and that's how the Tons got, organized and put together. So when it was time for Weather Girls, which they got their name from Weather Girls through the monologue, Hi, we are your Weather Girls, they kind of stuck, with no rocket science of how they became it. And then naturally, when the video came out with them in the trench coats and all of that.
Wow.
So we all grew up in San Francisco. Me, Azora, I knew her mother and father and all her kids, her sister, Sylvester, all of them, And then my mother knew Deacon Wash, Missionary Wash, out of St. Beulah Church of God in Christ. Ella Jenkins was their pastor then. So we all grew up in San Francisco out of church. So when it came, me and Martha I think we had one semester of high school. I graduated in '69, and she came there in '69 from junior high school. So we weren't strangers at all. Bishop Flunder, we weren't strangers at all.
Now, as far as you working with Sylvester, with the Weather Girls, Two Funds of Funds. Now, the stigma was, about sexuality and things of that sort, but then you're in the club.
Oh, yeah.
You're seeing probably some of the same people that are ostracized in the church, or some of the ones that's doing the ostracizing in the club. What is that element, or how do you describe that sort of behavior?
You really want to know?
I'm here. I'm here.
It's a hot mess.
Okay.
And it's ridiculous. Absolutely a hot mess and ridiculous. Okay. Because I ain't filtered. I tell you, me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, they don't have no room to be talking to nobody. All that sneaking around and they be doing. Please. You know what I'm saying? So LGBT is nothing new. No. It's been going on for ages. Sex, the word sex, the three letters, sex. It was never ever brought up in the church. It was a great abomination. Mother Johnson had 10 kids, and then none of them had the last name, sitting on the front row with a white outfit way down to her shoes. Okay? Lord, and they sleep. And then she on her knees with the pillows and all of that. All 10 of them was right there. Okay? And all of them look different. Different shades and everything. So, and I'm just talking about Mother Johnson. I ain't talking about nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see no difference in that and nothing else. And your best choir, your best musicians, your best songwriters and teachers and things, if that's the case, don't sing nothing. Okay? I was in the Gospel Music Workshop. Come on. Los Angeles, come on here. And that ain't no secret. Period. Why? And the only difference between City Refuge and what they have in their church, they don't care. You know what that is.
I
okay?
love City
But they
Refuge.
all meet at the Benson Bar.
Yep.
That ain't no secret. When it was on Webster, where it is on Broadway right now. And I belong to City Refuge. I wouldn't go nowhere else. Because I'm going to hear the truth.
Yes.
It ain't but maybe a 1.5% of heterosexuals up in there, but I'm up in there. Okay, my bishop loves me where I am. And she got a daughter. She done had a husband. She know what a man feel like. Okay, everybody ain't just woke up and what you see now. Then why you all up in their bed?
Exactly.
Why you in their bedroom? Because ain't nobody in yours?
And there's too much, and it's too much going on in the world to be worried about somebody else's business.
This is what we doing.
Yeah.
All in the middle of all of that. You know what I'm saying? Charlie, was a whole lot of things going. David did a whole lot of stuff. And he was the king.
Uh-huh.
And that's the liturgy that Jesus come out of. Okay? He put up in some that naked woman child, he had to have her and took the man out to the war, her husband. And they had him killed so he could have that. And she had the baby. So, and that's the biggest Old Testament book there is, Psalms, okay? But he prayed out of that in chapter 52, okay? So, don't judge, because that job's already taken. That ain't your place to make nothing. If that's the case, don't sing no gospel. Don't say nothing. Just to sit up in a land that looks stupid. So, but why would you even do that? Please. Leave them people alone. They ain't bothering you.
Basically what it is just that
the preacher wants the best choir with him when he goes to the anniversary and throw out $500 and who can match that, all that showing off that they do. But they don't talk about their tea late at night at the last light, sitting over there in the dark in the parking lot and everybody gone home. So what you doing? And you got a wife and a whole bunch of kids too sitting out there and she know, but she don't care. Okay, because the coins is coming in and meeting her at the table. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So get out of that. Don't even get in. Because first of all, no, that ain't none of your business. And that's from the church. And my last name got 2 O's in it. And you can put that quote me. I don't want to get you in no trouble. You know what I'm saying? But I don't care. Don't even come after me. You come after me. So that's what I'm talking about. For the LGBT, yes, that's my family. They takes care of me to this very day. They took care of me when I was diagnosed with congested heart failure that I got a pacemaker ticking at me right now that took care of me. When my mama died in 2006, they come see about me. Took over to St. Mary's Hospital. Okay? The other was TSA up in there. Want to know what you doing, what you want. You know what I'm saying? Seeing about me to this very day. See about me. The LGBT, which is a whole different conversation.
Okay.
I ain't trying to be analytical. I ain't trying to dig up no definition or nothing, or why, what you feeling, none of that. None of that. But that ain't none of my business.
Right.
Whatever makes your eyes golden and shine, baby. And if you're happy with whatever your situation is, and love is all up in that for real, you fought and Stonewall and all of that people died so they could get the same rights as me.
Wow.
Fine. I'm good with that. That means you can't just grab yourself and get mad and go. No, baby. Half is real, Blue. You don't want to come back to the table and work this thing out. Because you fought for that. That's fine. And I don't have a problem with it at all. And they don't either.
Wow.
They're just talking, child. They're doing all kind of dipping and dabbing. And not just with the boys. We ain't going to even talk about the girls. Or the women, or the girls, the 15 and 16, 17-year-old kids. And pregnant. Come on here. That's what I'm saying. Shut that down. Love people where they are, wherever they are. Don't even try to understand what's in their bedroom. Why? Because ain't nobody in your bedroom? Then you got a problem. You need to work on that and get somebody in yours with your name on it.
All right. Okay. So we must talk about this since we're in the vein of Sylvester and with the community. So I must ask you about when I mentioned the name Pope O'Neill and His Grace. Let's talk about their impact in the Bay Area.
Yeah, well, O'Neill, the Bay Area, he was, if I'm mistaken, I believe from New York to L.A.
L.A., yes.
To L.A. But Louis H. Nances was Oakland. And naturally had Father Divine and the other.
But did you ever meet Pope O'Neill?
Never met him, no. But I lived in New York for 5 years. I lived there, so I played for...
Christian Tabernacle?
No.
Okay,
I played for Richardson Memorial Spiritual Temple there on West 121st and Linux in Harlem.
Okay.
And they were connected, so I know about the white.
Okay.
Far as you can see was white. So, and then I know about First Church.
Okay.
On 43rd and Wellbar in Chicago.
Oh, absolutely.
I know about Father Hayes, you know what I'm saying? So I know about spiritual, and then it was a spiritual church in San Francisco, Nero, landmark, spiritual temple, on the Visadero with them raggedy blue buses, girl. Wanda Butler, New York.
So look, so I must ask
so
you
spiritualists was nothing new to me. And then James Cleveland he had a lot of spiritual background. And
well, yeah, because he's from Chicago, but he was minister of music at Tabernacle, and that was a spiritual church.
That's what I'm saying,
Detroit.
in Detroit, exactly, at the Craig Boys, absolutely. So spiritualism is not no hocus pocus or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying?
We're spiritual beings.
We are, absolutely. Yeah. So I knew of O'Neill, of course, and then I knew of Unity, Carl Bean. So I knew of other, other ministers that had other, I played for a Seventh-day Adventist church in Sacramento, capital city, Sabbath school, which we call Sunday school, you know what I'm saying? So, and then played for I played for Catholic church. I played for Father Good's church years in Hunters Point, the shipwreck. So I I wanted to do this. I didn't want to stay in a box, and then when music changed and then it went into contemporary with it, I already know who Walter Ed was out of Ephesians. Bobby played for Ephesians back in the day. We're talking about Eddie Harris, the Harris singers, and Ola Andrews and all that. Oh yeah, Watson. Oh, absolutely. I wasn't in the Church of God in Christ. I was belonged to the Baptist Church, but I knew of them. You know what I'm saying? Bishop Mathis from San Jose and all that. I knew about the coaches. My father, when he got into coaches, he did team preaching with Shante Moore's daddy. Reverend Moore, two of them Moores up there, high yellow, big man with suspenders, because he was good for the suspenders. While Mark Uncle Fred was good with the suspenders when they was preaching. So when they had musicians lined up with their sticks playing and all of that kind of thing, wasn't asking for a dime, just glad to play during offering time. They didn't care.
Oh yes.
Okay, and Walter was singing in the Northern California jurisdictional choir with his hair parted to the side with that navy blue double-breasted. It was kind of thick back in the days back then. Oh yeah, I have the old happy day. Wow. With honey, come and go with me. Ooh. Yeah, Lord, Eddie Lane Kelly was. And I started. Come on, Margaret.
But listen, we can talk all day. I really wanted to introduce you to Gospel Diaries, and I want you all to embrace her. Show her as much love as you can.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, and thank you so much for not letting down and not allowing the gift that God placed inside of you to lie dormant.
Oh, absolutely not. Thank you.
And as I say, always love on someone, and you will change their life. You never know, that smile that you wear just may be the ingredient that someone needs to put that gun down and say that I can make it another day. So be kind and be courteous, and we'll see y'all later. Bye. Hey y'all, would you please do me a favor? The link is in the caption. If you don't know, I do publish a magazine entitled Gospel Music Gazette, formerly known as the Coffee Table Magazine. Go ahead and get you a copy. Pretty soon they will be unavailable, so get your copy, all right? Love you. Love on someone and change your life.